Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a single company that, for more than 60 years, has been pretty much the sole architect of an entire nation's naval power. Let's get right into it.
Just think about that for a second. In all of Pakistan, there's just one company with the awesome responsibility of building the warships and, maybe even more importantly, the submarines that guard its coasts. And that company is the Karachi Shipyard and Engineering Works.
And look, we are not talking about simple little patrol boats here. Their resume is just incredible, a testament to high-tech global partnerships. We're talking French-designed Agosta submarines, Turkish Milgem corvettes. They even built a massive 17,000-ton fleet tanker that's the largest warship ever constructed in Pakistan. This is some seriously impressive hardware.
So who is this powerhouse behind the fleet? Let's pull back the curtain and take a closer look at the institution itself. KS&EW.
Officially, KS&EW is a state-owned defense contractor, but, that description doesn't even begin to cover it. As the only shipbuilding company in the entire country, it has a complete and total monopoly on building Pakistan's naval and submarine fleets.
The company's identity is just so deeply woven into the state itself. It was founded way back in 1957, and it's owned by the Ministry of Defense Production. Its managing director, a rear admiral. And its number one clients? Well, that's the Pakistan Navy, of course. This makes it crystal clear. KS&EW is way more than a business. It's a strategic arm of the nation.
So how does a commercial shipyard get into the business of building high-tech French submarines and Turkish corvettes? Well, the story actually begins right after the nation itself was born. You see, the vision for a homegrown shipyard was there from the very beginning. Planning started in the early 50s with some German help, and it was all driven by defense needs. After opening its doors in '57 and building its first merchant ship a decade later, the real game changer came in the 1990s. That Agosta submarine project with France, it completely transformed KS&W into a top-tier defense manufacturer.
For 68 years, this place has been in a constant state of evolution, just soaking up new tech and growing its capabilities. That's a really remarkable history of steady, relentless progress.
But here's something you might not see coming. Building all those warships, that's really only half the story. KS&EW's mission is actually much, much broader, and it has a huge impact on the entire national economy.
You can almost think of the company as having two different personalities. On one hand, it's the muscle, building the backbone of national defense. But on the other, it's this heavy industrial giant that's fueling the civilian economy. Let's break that down a bit.
So we've already seen some of the star players, but the sheer scope of their naval production is just vast. From those quick, nimble missile boats to complex frigates and, of course, stealthy submarines, they really provide the whole shebang for the Navy.
Now get this, the very same company that builds those missile boats also makes equipment for sugar plants, parts for oil refineries, massive gates for water management, and huge industrial cranes. This just goes to show you that their engineering skill reaches far, far beyond the naval dock.
Okay, so all of this is painting a picture of immense strategic importance. So why does one shipyard matter so darn much to an entire nation?
Well, it really all boils down to four key pillars. First, it's absolutely essential for defense self-reliance. Second, it's the nation's main hub for absorbing advanced maritime tech from partners like China and Turkey. Third, it's a huge driver of the heavy industry economy. And finally, and this is so important, it grows its own talent through a dedicated training school, investing in the future.
The company's own slogan, Reshaping Blue Economy, it really says it all. Now, the blue economy is all about the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth. So for KS&EW, it's clearly not just about defense. It's about harnessing the power of the sea for national prosperity.
So, with such a rich history and an absolutely vital mission, what's next for KS&W? Let's take a look over the horizon.
So, what is next for the nation's top shipbuilder? Well, the answer lies deep beneath the waves, with what might be its most ambitious project yet.
Okay, the next big leap is the Hangor-class submarine program. This is a massive tech transfer project with China. Together, they're going to build 8 advanced submarines with something called air-independent propulsion, or AIP. Just think of AIP as a way for non-nuclear subs to stay underwater for weeks instead of days, making them way, way stealthier. 4 will be built in China, and crucially, 4 will be built right there at the Karachi Shipyard, which is a huge step up in their own domestic capability. And that leaves us with a final thought.
As an institution that forges both economic and military power, KS&EW is so much more than just a shipyard. It's a true strategic asset that's actively shaping Pakistan's role in the region. So the real question isn't just what it will build next, but how its work will continue to define the maritime balance of power for decades to come.